That steps for losers, man. I don't get involved in that stuff, but
Angel Rashad Milligan rolling out.
That's a good question.
Brandon,
Yeah, we can't ask Rashad questions.
Hey, Rashad.
Yo, happy Mother's Day. Happy 3 a.m. to everybody on the East Coast. Happy 2 a.m. to everybody in the Central Coast. Happy 1 a.m. to everybody in the Mountain Coast. And happy, I think that's how it works, right? Yeah, 12 a.m. midnight to everybody on the West Coast. My name is Rashad Milligan. If you are new to the channel, this is the road to 5K subs, man. Without further ado, let's get into it. All right, cool. So first thing I want to discuss today is this thing, man. This thing going around about Playboi Carti opening up tour for the weekend, a stadium tour. Obviously, the weekend is a stadium artist at this point. He's done stadium tours the last couple tours now, and he's got Playboi Carti opening for him, which kind of in essence for I think this era of the weekend makes sense. And Playboi Carti is just extremely popular, so it kind of makes sense. And he's continuing to enter that mainstream space and everything as an artist, so it makes sense on paper. However, the crowd, they weren't really moving most of the time. Like a lot of the crowd, they were like yelling when the songs will first come on, and they had their phones out recording because they liked the songs. But Playboi Carti doesn't necessarily like rap his lyrics, and I feel like a lot of the issues or the frustration that he might be feeling with these performances is just literally not rapping his lyrics. Right here in this video, Good Credit is played, like his verse is being played on Good Credit, and he's just walking around with the microphone by his kneecaps. So it's just like, I feel like he would get a lot of the response that he would like to get a little more if he just rapped his lyrics. Even if the people don't know your songs, if you just rap the lyrics, you could get more people vibing, more people giving you an enthusiastic kind of thing and stuff like that. Like when he came out for Kendrick Lamar, I felt like it worked because it was just one song in that one verse, and it was Atlanta, so it's his hometown. So they were just happy to see Carti and things of that sort. Okay, so they said people were passing out. People actually passed out, but they said, does this man ever stop lying? And here's the person passed out. Hold on, right here, this dude, he actually passed out. So people were passing out and things of that sort, but it got to the point where he played Magnolia, which he hasn't played in years. It's almost like playing Magnolia is almost kind of like playing like Broke Boy or what with the activists, or Beef or Fetty. You know what I'm saying? Those old classics that Carti has that I fell in love with from that era and things of that sort, like where he was like rapping kind of in normal English. Those songs for sure can get any crowd going. The thing is, you got to perform it, bro. And I wish I could be like, oh yeah, like the old Carti. Carti never performed. He never rapped his lyrics. If you look at his old stuff from 2015, 2016, 2017, the SoundCloud era, when Carti was first like getting established to the point where he transitioned from awful music to ASAP. He's not rapping the words. He was back then. He was just kind of dancing and pointing the microphone out, or like doing this to the crowd and letting the crowd rap it. He wasn't even rapping back then, so it's just kind of his performance style. Obviously, he keeps getting bigger as an artist, so I don't know if he'll want to change his performance style at this point, because it's like, why would I change it if it's getting me into larger and larger venues at one at a time? It is something to see him go from, doing impromptu pop-ups outside of 112 and at the Georgia State campus, and doing impromptu pop-ups around the city of Atlanta in underground spots like Tabernacle and Masquerade and stuff like that, to go to performance stadiums. That is beautiful to see. And it's the same thing with Kendrick. I've seen him do like Tabernacle, Center Stage, venues of that type of size to a Mercedes-Benz Stadium like that. That's beautiful to see. So all in all, criticism aside, like you're proud of the growth that you see from doing the Grammy stage and doing the stadiums. Like it's a pretty big deal, 100%, and it's something to celebrate. However, like perform your music, bro. Perform your music. I don't know. I feel like the people get behind you a little more. Like if they don't know the songs, if they know nothing outside of Fiend, right? If Fiend is the only song they know, like still perform the songs, and it might get some new fans, build a new fan base, everything like that. Shout out Swamp Izzo as well on tour with him and stuff like that. Kind of going full in. There's this DJ right hand man, hype man of this era with Carti. I think it's pretty dope and cool. Like I said with the music review, just really truly connecting back to his Atlanta roots and things of that sort. And yeah, man, let me see what else we got with Carti, because I was already at 6, so I was like, let me see. I might as well just keep going with Carti. All right, Playboi Carti. Oh, 7 years ago today, the Lit album came out. This is, I want to say Carti's probably like most popular in terms of like, this is the most widespread. Everybody liked it. I don't think everybody liked Whole Lotta Red, and I definitely don't think everybody liked music. But this was the last Carti project where it's like everybody liked it. And at first, I hated this project. I hated this project when it first came out. I was like, bit, because he was going slowly from like speaking a little more and kind of mosquito, and I didn't like it. But it grew on me. It was 2 albums that year, because this is 2018. I believe this is the same year that some rap songs came out from Earl Sweatshirt. Hated some rap songs when it first came out. And it just grew to become one of my favorite albums of the decade. Same thing with this Lit album from Playboi Carti. Like every song on it, except for like one, is a song that I can still replay and just rock out to today. And things of that sort. So RP Fredo for sure. RP Fredo Santana. Thank you, Playboi Carti. Oh, these girls were with them or something. What I have with here with Playboi Carti with Paul Wall. Playboi Carti has an album to drop, and he's doing this. Yeah, 7 years, a long time. RIP. I'm on the lean for real. Old money, new clothes, love hurts. Shawty want a rock star. Yeah, da. Right now. Yeah, right now. Poke it out. I don't know, home off top. I fell in love. Foreign. Oh, hopping up. Oh, big gun, Joe. Pull up. Beep. Mileage. I do not know mileage off top. Flatbed freestyle. Boop. I'm gonna know what's a month. Yeah. You ain't got time. I'm my demon shop. Clean my mind. Middle of the summer, do not know off top. Chopper won't miss her. 100 round drunk and then everybody. And this one, I'm gonna ain't no it's me. Top, I guess this is I'm on the top of the building. I'm on the top. Did I make that up? I believe that's how it goes. So yeah, it was only like 3 songs that I don't know off top based off of the thing. Great album. Great longevity for Mr. Jordan Carter. All right. Next thing. People are on Lexie Brown's head. I've been seeing people talk about this clip all day. Obviously, yes, it's a clip, so watch the full podcast before you form an opinion. However, I'm gonna go off this clip because everybody's talking about it, and I might watch the full thing afterwards. And if I have a different opinion after watching the full thing, I'll come back to the channel and bring it up. Right now, I'm just gonna watch the clip.
League and as veterans, I think we have made this a more welcoming environment for this rookie class. Not saying that last year it was like overly hostile by any means, but I feel like one, because I haven't seen it because I haven't been online, the energy feels different this year. Like as far as these,
How the energy feel different, and you ain't been online to know what the energy has been on virtual online. And let me say, I gotta put this this disclaimer out. I rock with Lexie because she's home team. She's Gwinnett County. She knows side, everything like that. I rock with Lexie. Been rocking with Lexie for years, since like dang Maryland days and stuff like that. So I rock with Lexie Brown. Shout out to D Brown, basketball legend, everything like that for sure. But yeah, like that's crazy. and I ain't gonna lie. Another reason why I like Lexie is because she's always been opinionated. And I don't know, like a lot of the opinions I disagree with. So like, but it brings like, I feel like a healthy kind of back and forth, or healthy, like non-popular opinion set that will make you know what I'm saying? And those debates, those discussions, convo starters really take the league to the next level. And she was doing this for a little minute. So, okay, I got to also say this. I think a part of Lexie talking about like the growth of the game and everything like that, because she was really like, she was one of them people that was like against the whole Angel and Caitlyn are changing it and changing everything. And she's like, no, we been had motion. We been had stuff going up. All right, here's the background with Lexie. Lexie was Instagram famous in college. I'm not sure about high school, but in college, she was famous. And before you say, oh, that's weird, you talking about in high school, this and that, we the same age. But in college, she was Instagram famous because, you know, how you say, I guess people just like looking at her, you know what I'm saying? Attractive young woman. So she was popular on Instagram in college. Transfers to Duke. When she transferred to Duke, she got playing time, everything like that. She became the best player on Duke. And that's when she was getting posted on the basketball beauty pages and started getting more and more followers. She had motion going into the league. She didn't play at Connecticut her first couple of years. Then she went to Minnesota. And in the bubble, she really had a breakout year that year and stuff like that. Really stuck with LA, and now she's in Seattle. So she had motion like back in 2017, 2016. So for her, when people were talking about Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark having motion and no players having motion like that for real, I can understand why she would feel away, because a lot of people were like in her comments. She was doing the whole YouTube thing going into her rookie season, and she was vlogging and having opinions and podcasting before podcasting was really where it is now everywhere. Like she's been doing this her entire career. So it's like I understand from her and then like I said, in those comment sections, a lot of them be like, you the reason why I watch the WNBA because you so fine, this and that, you know, hard eyes and stuff like that. And you the first player I watch, this and that. You the first player I follow on in social media, this and that. This is why I get into the WNBA, because of you. So for her to see that from 2016, 2017, and for these girls to come along, class of 2020 and 2022, 2023, 2024, and everybody says, oh, they the ones, these the first time I seen girls with some motion like this. I understand why Lexie would feel the way, because she's like, I had motion like that in 2016, 2017, but it was a bit different, Lex. It was a bit different, Lex, back then. So I definitely have to say that. Also, back to this point of disagreeing, even though I rock with Lex, everything like that, and interviewed her a couple times, stuff like that. Rock with Lex. Don't want this to come off as a diss. But how you gonna say the energy different, but I ain't on online? How you even gonna know what the energy is if you're not online? That don't even make sense. All right, well, but regardless,
these rookies coming in and how the season's starting, like it's overwhelmingly more positive, but also still very competitive. Last year, it was like complete hostility going into the season. Like it was insane. I never felt.
but you were one of those people being hostile. That I will agree with. I know a lot of people are criticizing this clip and stuff like that. She was one of the people being hostile. Like it wasn't hostile in the way of like Alyssa Thomas or Kennedy Carter, like checking the folks or anything like that, or you know, ripping them down to the floor or to the court. Like it wasn't that hostile, but you were one of the people talking about, man, the W's a rude awakening. They got a rude awakening for them coming in the W. And they did. I ain't gonna lie. Like both Angel and Caitlyn had to adjust, get pop in the mouth, and had to adjust to the game. And they figured it out, I think, sooner than a lot of other people expected, including myself. But you were like, man, we been had motion. We been had this, and everybody talking about they put people in seats. We've been putting people in seats. Like our numbers been growing over the past couple of years, which they have, but you also have to give Caitlyn and Angel their credit. I know a lot of Caitlyn fans, they don't like when I give Angel her credit, but Angel puts butts in seats too. And I know people look at the LSU preseason game and it's like, oh, the upper bowl was empty. Well, the lower bowl was full. And it was a lot more full than a lot of other preseason games around the WNBA. So it's like, it just is what it is, bro. I don't even know where I got sidetracked on that, but maybe I'll find it after playing this.
That before going into a season. And like the competitiveness, like it wasn't like there was no competition type energy in that. It was just hostile and mean and nasty. This year, I feel like it's very high level, high energy, competitive, respectful. That's just how I feel personally. I don't know if anybody else.
If you say anything with this draft class, I think this draft class, the last kind of bunch of 2020, class of 2020, it's really just, I don't think Paige had an antagonist, you know what I'm saying, in college. Like Paige's antagonist her freshman year was Caitlin Clark. It was like Caitlin Clark was the underdogs, the ones that a lot of, it's going to sound crazy, a lot of black people was rooting for Caitlin Clark back then as like the underdog and the antithesis. Man, I don't even know if I use that word right. Don't be using words. But the antagonist, the opposition, right? The rival to Paige Beckers. It was like Paige Beckers was the white girl from UConn getting all the attention, and people were really complaining at the time about why is UConn getting so much attention? Why are the white players in basketball getting so much more attention than the black players? Forget just white players versus black players. Let's look at UConn versus the rest of the country getting attention. Why isn't this girl at Iowa, who's leading the league, who's leading the country and leading all freshmen in scoring and assists, why isn't she getting more attention than Paige Beckers? And that's just what it was her freshman year. But then after Paige got hurt and she came back, Paige didn't have a rival at that point. You know, Caitlyn kind of was like moving on, and her rival became obviously Angel Reese and stuff like that. And it became a little more established after, ironically, Angel Reese leaves the Big Ten. They become more of established rivals in two different leagues. But that's why I think the hostility was there, because there was so much attention, bro, on just the rivalry, and there was so much division there. Paige, by the time Paige came back, Paige already did the SB speech where she said black women, black women, black women. You know, people saw, if they didn't know who Paige Beckers was at Hopkins, they saw her family a lot more, who was they're obviously mixed and things of that sort. So it was like the narrative really changed for Paige on being like, I hate this white girl's getting this much attention, to this white girl's all right. You know the meme with the white boy, you all right. Hold on. Let me see. White boy, all right. You know what I'm saying? Like Paige became this meme, right? So she went from like, oh, this white girl gets so much attention over these black girls putting in the same work. And then by the time she came back from her injury, it became this, because she did the SB speech. People saw her family, which was mixed, you know, black stepmom, things of that sort, everything like that. So it was really like a lot of people that had a problem with Caitlyn, and everything like that kind of went away. And it's not even just necessarily Caitlyn the player. It's like Caitlyn, what comes with Caitlyn, the fan base and things of that sort. And but there wasn't really that existed this year, because I have to keep it kind of respectful. But Haley Van Lith she acknowledges her white privilege a lot and things of that sort. But like Haley just wasn't like Caitlyn. You know what I'm saying? Respectfully. You know what I'm saying? So it was like there wasn't that player on Caitlyn's like level that that wasn't initially speaking on these things as they were happening on social media. Obviously, Caitlyn has since acknowledged it and stuff. I feel like she has when she went on Saturday Night Live for the first time, right? And she was talking about Cheryl Swoops and the great woman who laid the foundation. And she named all Black players, and then she continued to do it. Like every time someone would specifically ask her about Black players, she would give them that credit. And in a Time magazine feature, she like outright just said, "Yeah, I do benefit from white privilege and kind of like white facing and stuff like that." I seen a Caitlin Clark fan said, "So what? Whoop to do." She's literally just catering to her audience and the audience of trying to bring in more people for the WNBA marketability wise. It's like if there are just more white people that exist statistically, wouldn't you market more to white people? And I was like, yo, that is a very, very good point. That's a very good point. I do think, however, like other people have the right to their opinions as well. If the league and the sport is mostly Black, like why not give attention to the Black? Because, and here's the thing with attention, like I think people miss the point. Attention equals money. So it's like that was the fight, and that is the fight still to a certain extent of like the Black players putting in the work, having the results on the court. They deserve just as much opportunity as the white players who perform, similar to them or don't even perform as good. You know what I'm saying? Like Sabrina Ionescu has a signature shoe. A large part of her popularity comes from outside of, being white, is like came from her friendship with Kobe Bryant in college and things of that sort, like in the triple double record and everything that she was setting at Oregon. So it's like those things like that. She's getting so much money. 2K cover, Nike signature shoe. She had the 2K cover, right? Hold on. Let me, before I just say stuff, we got the internet list. 2K cover. Yeah, 2K cover. All of these things, right? And the reason why people are like, man, the Black players. The reason why they're so kind of hell bent on that is because attention and coverage equals more money. And yeah, so it was like, to break it down like this, I'm going on a long tangent. And if you're sitting through this, I appreciate you so much. My name is Rashad Milligan. This is the road to 5K subs. At the time I'm recording this, I'm 300 away, less than 300 away from 5,000. And I'm like, man, I don't even know how to feel about that. Let's get back to it. So yeah. With Sabrina Ionescu, right? More money. Okay. I was about to bring it back to me, right? So, for example, in my field and things of that sort, in media, I've always been the personality type of I could be behind the camera most of the time. Like when I learned that I could tell a story effectively still and not be on camera, like I didn't need a stand up in a package or a video story to make the story hit. When I learned that, I was like, oh, bad. I could put out some fire stuff. I don't have to worry about random people stopping me at games and having 5-minute conversations with me about ABC and their favorite players and all that. Like I could just vibe out, create the content, push it out to the world, and put dope stuff together. I don't have to be faces of stuff. And then I started seeing a lot of my peers and a lot of people I came up with and a lot of people who are my age and have the same amount of experience. We at the same events, we in the same rooms. I started to see them getting hosting opportunities. I started to see them get on panels. I started to see them get conferences and all these things. And that stuff is cool. It's like, okay, I could play it back. I'm cool. But then when you find out them jokers getting paid for speaking engagements, you're like, okay, all right, twin. We got to go back to the drawing board because it's like, all right, I'm making you know what I'm saying, however much you making, right? Say hypothetically. I'll throw a hypothetical number out there. And this isn't what I'm making, by the way. If you're wondering what I'm making, this is not an accurate number. But at one point I was making this. Say you're making 50,000 and you go to all the same events that your peers, you know, the people your age, graduated college the same year as you go to all the events they go to, you guys put out the same type of content. If anything, you might feel like your content is a little more creative than theirs in some ways. But the difference is you're getting 50,000 a year. Them jokers getting 300,000 a year. You gonna feel away. So that's what all it is with the black players, white players debate of like the attention and this and that. Like, if you put it in the same work, we got the same qualifications, we in the same rooms, we play the same game, and you're getting 20 million and I'm only getting 2 million. Yeah, that's gonna be, yeah. We need to talk about that. Yeah, we do need more coverage. Yeah, we do need more opportunity. Yeah, we do need this. So that's where a lot of this stuff stems from, bro. If that analogy made sense. If that was just me yapping, I apologize. But at least you sat through it.
Feels anything differently, but I feel this season is different for these rookies, and I hope that they feel welcomed to the W. Like, whether they're in a good situation, a not so good situation, whether they make the team, they're waived. Like, I hope that we've done a better job as older players. And
let me look at hold on. And it sounds weird hearing Lexie talk about she's an older player. That's crazy to me, but she's true. She's right. I graduated college like 8 years ago, bro. This weekend, 8 years ago. That's ridiculous. That's almost 10 years, bro. Getting up there. AARP. Lauren Betts, AZ for Olivia Miles, Tanai Latson. 6, 7, 8. The top 8 prospects of the 2026 WNBA draft are all black. So you're not going to have this. You're not going to have what you had with Caitlin for a very, very long time until another white player is the best player in the country again. That obviously was the case last year with Paige Beckers. But like I said, Paige kind of like, I don't know, disarmed the haters. It was kind of like a thing of like, she slowly kind of was like, no need to be on me. She did the speech at the ESPYs. The more famous and more, you know, kind of attention she got, you start to see her family a little more. And you're like, oh, she got a black stepmama. She got black brothers and sisters, or black brothers. And then, you know, she comes out, the clip of her singing Marvin Sapp goes viral and everything. Like, you're like, oh, Paige is pretty cool. And she continues to speak about black women in the sport, people who laid the foundation and get all the attention, and how she benefits from white privilege. All of that stuff like kind of took the haters off of her and took the heat off of her. The next time that you can't say, my point that I'm trying to make is Lexie or anyone, they can't say that we've healed. They can't say the women's basketball space has healed. It's kind of like saying like racism is over. Like, you know what I'm saying? No, we won't know if it's truly over until the next time a white player is the number one player in the country again. When a white player is the number one player in the country again, that's when we'll find out. But it ain't next year, because the top 8 prospects are all black next year and stuff like that. So we'll see. Hold on. I want to look at Hoop Girls. Let's look at Hoop Girls. 2026 Hoop Girls. All right. Let me see. Sanaya Hall, Kate Harpering. Oh, Kate Harpering moved up to 2. Kate Harp, she was a bit further back before then. Jersey, shout out to Jersey. So Jersey kind of slid, it looks like. Big O, Olivia Edwards. Dang, I really want to see the takeover weekend, like OTE girls and stuff like that. I hope I'll be in Atlanta then. Last year they did it in August, and I can't be in Atlanta in August because that's too close to football. Football starts in August. I got to be back in the boot. Yeah. But Kate Harper, maybe Kate Harper, cool. She cool. I ain't gonna lie. Kate Harper, mad cool, and she from Atlanta. That's Matt Harper and daughter, bro. She mad cool, bro. So I don't know. This Olivia Vocasa, is she white? Let me see. Oh yeah. But she Croatian, so she not even American. All right. But yeah, I think it's gonna be. We won't see this again for another couple years. And the point that I'm making is, it doesn't mean that the problem is solved. People saying, "Oh yeah, the women's basketball space is in a better place. We solved. It's healthy." Yeah, and until white players the best player again, then we'll see what's going on. Is this was that KK special K 2027? She's a baby. Yo, she been good her whole life like that. This might be the best, but like you gotta watch what you say, because I felt like we said that with the Leah Chavez, right? Leah Chavez was a sophomore. We was like, oh yeah, she's the best player in the country, and she's only a sophomore. And then by the time she got to senior year, she done slipped to about, well, Leah Chavez slipped to about 5 or something like that, to 3, which isn't the most drastic fall, but yeah. It was interesting to see Jasmine Davidson jump up to 1, and I'll rock with her. I'll rock with all of them for sure. Everybody that was at OT, the twin. All right, bet. I'm getting off track. But yeah, that's just my response to Lexie saying. It's like Lexie's kind of saying like, we're headed in a positive direction. Like people are starting to act with sense again. Okay, let's see what happens when a white player is the best player in the country again, and then see if the conversation still looks the same.
Veterans to make this like an enjoyable experience for them. So
Here we go. How lucky are this year's rookies? The vets are feeling extra welcome, and all of a sudden, and that's what they're pretty saying with CC tweets for now. A white player isn't the best player coming in. So yeah, there's that. Lexie admitted to yelling at Lee Uru for having poor English, and also talked ish about Rakia and Cam. Plus sat on an ex-NBA's players podcast and talked ish about CC and Angel. She's a part of the problem. A couple of people brought this up about her yelling at Lee. So I want to look it up, because I personally don't remember that. I do remember her going on Gilbert Arenas podcast and saying things about Angel and Juju. But yeah, let me see. Lexie Brown. I'm looking it up, y'all. Can Lexie Brown dunk in her insoles? I want to see that. They got me. People revealed that they were hostile. Shout out to Mixed Talk Hoops. He do not miss a topic, boy. I tell you, if it's something on YouTube, on Twitter, he gonna have a YouTube video about it. I don't even know what he be talking about, for, because them video be like 16, 20 minutes. Everything. Look at this. This is all today. 8 minutes. 9 minutes. And Angel Reese she did not struggle, bro. She only had 3 rebounds because she was playing point forward. 2 for 8 from the field. Now 2 for 8 from the field, you know what I'm saying? That's something. But she was distributing the ball. She looked good bringing the ball up. Everything like that. Really getting the offense flowing. She's just trying different stuff. It's preseason. I don't think it was a bad performance. I do want to see this though. And then we'll get to the lead thing. That was funny. Fine, so that's fine. 4 years later, she better win that shootout.
Give me a year, y'all.
All right, hold on. Let me see. Lexie Brown. I guess I do not remember this. She finally gets her ring while shining for the Sparks. So does anybody have like a article or video about this? 'Cause I don't remember that. Let me see. Lexie Brown. Oh, she got traded. And they both got traded together. I just want to see this video where she said this. Where did she say this? Did she say it? Because if people just making up stuff, like, that's crazy, right? Oh, man, I thought she was cool. This is disappointing. Let me just go ahead and unfollow that podcast real quick. Yeah, I saw that podcast. She's a negative, jealous Betsy. They cooking her. The fact that she felt comfortable saying she said about Lee during the live commentary is wild, let alone she's a real piece of work behind the scenes. Who even does that, right? She got dragged on here afterwards. I wish I could find a video like, yeah, English might not be Lee's strong suit, but she's still a better player than you. Communication issues and all. I need proof about her talking about Angel, Rakia, and Cam. If you don't have it, don't be making up lies. I also didn't see the thing of her talking about Rakia and Cam. But I do remember what she said about Angel and Caitlyn. Lexie needs to be humble. Making fun of her having poor English as being her second language is not what you want to start. I also have to see this because like now, like, is this one of those things where you're like talking to a teammate? You know how like Rakai talks to Kai? I mean Rakai. How Kai talks to Ray. And it's like Ray would try to say something to Kai, and Kai like mocks his accent, and then Ray mocks Kai. It was like a friend thing. Is it one of those things? Because like context matters and tone matters. Dang, this is crazy. Shout out to Geneva. I didn't know Geneva was on Twitter. But terrorist is crazy. That's the crazy word. She's worried about Lee's English, but Lee actually should be tutoring her when they cut her. Dang. Lexie has been the biggest hater. I used to like her, but now she talks. The more she talks, the less I like her. The craziest part is they were playing together again in Seattle. To be talking like this and she barely plays, and when she does play, she stinks because she got Crohn's disease. This is why she's not playing. She on the bench at home watching. No, she's not playing because she has Crohn's disease. Exactly. Now you got the Clarkies thinking their made-up agenda was real. Jealous young lady. Lexie is the worst. She's been a hater forever. Hating on the Rickies last year. Pocket watching college NIL deals from the start. It's really lame. People peeped it. So now she's trying to switch up. I'm calling Cap. Lexie Brown is such a hater. She always trying to crap on young players. The way that she talk, you think she has multiple MVPs, all NBA and accolades. She's a horrible vet, just not even good enough to be on the roster, but is always hating on young players. She's so fake. I'm so happy that Sparks got rid of her. Bro, what a piece of blah, blah, blah. Where is this clip of her saying this, bro? Women get on here and lie. Only bad thing she did was promote that trash on Rory and Maul and Gil's Arena. You like to lie and believe social media never happened. Stop making things up. She talks more than she plays. She did not talk about Cam and Rakia. Stop making stuff up. When did she talk stuff about Rakia or Cam or even injuries? You're so disingenuous. It's hilarious. This framing is sad. Do better. Why she hide all the comments telling the truth? I do remember her saying stuff about Angel. She said it when they was in college on Gilbert Arenas' podcast. I remember that because she was talking about both of them. She was like, "Oh yeah, they saying these rookies are gonna be, yeah, they're gonna have some, you know what I'm saying?" But yeah, I don't. There's not one single thing. I felt like if this was a thing, then it would have been something. usually when people do them little tweets where they like dog pile on someone, like you did this wrong, you did this wrong, you did this wrong. A lot of times it'll be like something exaggerated, bro. Like that didn't really happen. And I think this Lee Yuri Euro thing did not happen. I don't think it happened. Because I'm literally looking it up right now. Like it would have been somewhere. It would have been on the blog. It would have been on Twitter. Someone would have had the someone would have had the what you call. They would have had the video up when she said that, but nobody has the video up. Why? Because it doesn't exist. It does not exist. But yeah, this is an example. It says 2020. It's 2020. It's just a type of post that she would get. See, not that many interactions, but Twitter was different back then. Yeah. All right. Anyways, that's enough of that. I guess I'm looking for something that's not there. Someone said something about she was being mean to Rakia because of Twitter. Because she said I'm not on the internet, so things is different now. This is the tweet. So she felt she had to be hostile, mean, and nasty to Rakia last year because of Twitter. She really makes it difficult to extend her grace. I wish her to remain healthy, but outside of that, kicking her. She didn't say she was. She said she felt the energy around the league. You must be new here. What did she do or say to Rakia? Ain't nobody do nothing to Rakia. She holds her own. Y'all keep saying this without giving receipts or what even happened. Her projecting her own odd feelings onto the entire league is something. Lexie Brown, I don't. So this is a copy paste message. It's the same thing we just read in the other one. Let's go to the page. You have to like when you see these things. It's like I feel like media literacy type stuff. Of like, okay, let's see who's saying this. Oh my bad. False, we having false in shambles. Thank you, Bucket Getter. I like how you do this. They're miserable. We're not paying haters on mine. Good game. Good game, Big Mama. Hold on, I'm trying to see this thing. Trying to see what's going on. Yeah. She commented the same thing. She commented the same thing 4 times. She commented the same thing 4 times, bro. Here it is. 1, 2, 3, 4. She commented the same thing 4 times. Just copied and pasted it 4 times. I don't know. You just have to pay attention to stuff like that. Because people will hype it up, and then that becomes like the narrative. And now everybody's talking down on Lexie Brown for saying some stuff that she never said. You gotta be careful with that stuff, man. Sparks have Lexie Brown and Kia Jackson is funny. I'm trying to see. So I'm on here now, by the way. I don't see anything that's problems between those two. Yeah. Just do not see them. Cameron Brink, let me see. Cameron Brink. Nothing. Don't see anything still. So no other players came to mind in the last 7 years. There it is. What did Lexie Brown say about Cameron Brink? Lexie has always been a weirdo. That was two months ago. No one responded to her. So are these just things she's saying on her podcast? And if so, like, why aren't they being clipped up? All right, is that it? That's it. All right. I'm gonna move on to the next thing because I keep looking for stuff like that isn't on the internet, like it's not clipped up. It wasn't a big discussion. It was just something that someone said. Lexie Brown trying to create a podcast presence because she knows she doesn't have much longer in the league. Lexie Brown been doing that. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like Lexie Brown was vlogging and YouTubing in 2017, bro. And she had a following online since like 2015, 2016 when she was in college. I thought this was nice, changing up the subject. This lady met Travis Hunter and she didn't know who he was. Her name is Sandy Hawkins Combs. I had the most wonderful flight from Denver. I met the nicest young man who sat next to me. He offered to put my bag in the overhead compartment and he helped me with my tray. He was always polite, saying, yes, ma'am, no, ma'am. Anyone would be proud of him as a son or a grandson. So polite. People walking by were saying, congratulations, great job, or even taking pictures. I turned and asked him, who am I sitting next to? I looked at his Jaguar pants and smiled and asked, are you an athlete? And he smiled. He said, yes, I'm Travis. I was just drafted by the Jags. I already told my sons I want his jersey. He's so humble and down to earth. I would have never guessed he was a professional athlete. Jacksonville Jags, you did good. I will be buying tickets. United Airlines, thank you for the seat assignment. And there it is. There she is with Travis Hunter. Such a nice. This is really nice, bro. This is not you, bro. You love to see it, dog. This character, this everything. You know what I'm saying? This kid, like, that's why I keep every time I see him, bro. I keep going back to like December, bro, when everybody was so mean to him and everything like that, and he was like the biggest topic on social media with the relationship podcast and podcasts in general. People just talking so crazy about this young man, his relationship, and it's like he's just the nicest, most unproblematic kid in like college football, probably. Like he just danced, like that's all he did. Like you mad at Travis because he played both sides of the ball. He dominated and he danced a lot. Like Travis wasn't even talking. It was, you know what I'm saying? It was his teammates that was talking most of the time. But Travis, for the most part, was dancing, everything like that. He Twitch every week. Get in Discord with Kai Sinat. Kai tell him what he want his celebration to be. He go out and do it, bro. Like, so this is least problematic kid. So when everybody was doing that, bro, and a lot of people that was rocking with him doing that, I think that taught him a valuable lesson. I'm kind of almost glad that it happened to him for him to see like how people are. Even if they on your side, they still not even on your side. Like a lot of people that was rocking with Trav and defending Colorado and Deion Sanders, like they life depending on it, was talking bad about this man and his personal relationship as a college kid, which was insane to me. Like you in your 50s talking about a kid in college and his relationship. Whole time, the reason why you felt so passionate about it is because you was dealing with girls the same age. Younger, actually. Crazy. Whole time. You was just projecting on a young man. But I'm glad to see this man. Innocent content, beautiful content, everything like that. And also, like, he helped get Pink Dreads lit. Like, that was nice of him, too. Shout out Travis Hunter, bro. All right. Next thing. The Aces are now the sole defendant in the Dearica Hamby's federal discrimination lawsuit, excuse me. Shout out to Callie. Callie Finn. She changed her last name? She changed her last name, right? This wasn't her last name always. Her name was Callie, like, what was Callie's last name used to be? Like, Callie J. Law? Callie Lawson? Was it Lawson? Why am I? See, look, I was just talking about people being in people business, and now look at me, in people business. Callie Lawson Freeman was her last name. Okay, I thought so. I'm all in her business. My bad. Okay. Congratulations, Callie, if that's the case. All right. This from the Las Vegas Review Journal, as always. Hold on, let me stop sharing and share again to get the audio back. All right. Ex-player can pursue lawsuit against the Aces, claims versus the WNBA dismissed. This is from Cali Fan. Congratulations once again. The Aces are the only remaining defendant in the Los Angeles Sparks and Los Angeles Sparks forwards Dearica Hamby's federal discrimination lawsuit, as all of her claims against the WNBA were dismissed last week by the U.S. District Court in Nevada. A former two-time Sixth Player of the Year for the Aces, Hamby's initial filing alleged the Aces were unlawfully motivated to trade her to the Los Angeles Sparks in January 2023 because she was pregnant with their second child. She also alleged that the Aces and the WNBA retaliated against her following her public claims on social media that her former team mistreated her. Her lawsuit was filed in August of last year. The Aces and the WNBA moved for it to be dismissed a month later. Tuesday's order from the U.S. District Judge Andrew Gordon, obtained by the Review Journal, said the decision to deny the Aces motion to dismiss Hamby's discrimination claim came down to two of her allegations: that the Aces failed to invite her to their White House celebration following their 2022 WNBA championship win, and prohibited the team's videography staff from projecting her daughter on the video screen at an Aces game. I remember that. Three of her other claims did not have a clear connection to retaliation, but she can file an amend complaint fixing her argument by June 6th, the order said. The claims were that the Aces instructed players and staff not to speak to Hamby, attempted to access her medical records after informing her, "Yo, who's in here? Sauce, what's good? What's good?" In here at 4 a.m. Eastern, 1 a.m. West Coast time. Salute. Those claims were that the Aces instructed players and staff not to speak to Hamby, attempted to access her medical records after informing her of the trade, that former general manager Natalie Williams incorrectly implied during a public radio interview that she was aware of Hamby's pregnancy in June 2022. What's good? Man, I can't call it, man. How you feeling? How you feeling, my brother? You know what I'm saying? Just reading the news, man, as always. The Aces parted ways with Williams in October. The court's latest order names fourth-year coach Becky Hammon as the Aces decision maker, a representative whose alleged comments to Hamby leading up to the trade allow for reasonable inference that the Aces discriminated against Hamby due to her pregnancy. The Aces have stood by Hammon when addressing the federal lawsuit. Let me see. He said, "I'm fine." That's beautiful, man. I appreciate you for tuning in, dog. I appreciate you, gang. Tuesday's order said Hamby also plausibly alleged that the trade to the Sparks caused her harm beyond the trade itself, because she very well could have lost brand value and endorsement opportunities by joining a less competitive team and a more saturated endorsement market. Hamby's claims against the WNBA included that they didn't investigate her situation sufficiently and failed to renew her league marketing contract. The court dismissed all claims against the league with prejudice. After the WNBA's investigation into Hamby's claims, Hammon was suspended for 2 games and the Aces lost their 2025 first-round draft pick. Hammon responded to the league's decision by telling reporters that she handled Dearica with care from day one and traded her solely for business purposes. How often do you be streaming? Oh, I stream every night, every single day. This is probably like my 60th day in a row streaming. So I started Ash Wednesday, and so Ash Wednesday to Easter is 40 days, and it's been about 21 days since Easter. So I've been streaming for 60 days straight, and I stream every night. After a home game against the Sparks last August, which marks Hamby's return to Las Vegas, Hammon interrupted a question about a lawsuit and denied allegations once again. I've been in the WNBA or the NBA for now 25 years. I never had an HR complaint. Never, not once. I still haven't actually, because Dearica didn't file any, Hammon said. She didn't file with the players unit. She didn't file with the WNBA. Those are the facts. It's also factual that nobody made a call about trading her until Atlanta called us. The Aces signed veteran forward Cheyenne Parker-Tyus in February, knowing that she is pregnant and will miss more than half of the 2025 season. The Aces did not reply to a request for a comment. But yeah, man. Before I go to the next thing, I stream every day. I've been streaming for 60 days in a row. I just applied for Kai Cenat Streamers University and stuff like that. That's back home in Atlanta. So we'll see if he lets me in. I told him, I was like, I just do something different where I just do the news primarily and stuff like that. I read the news and I kind of bring it to the world of streaming for real, for real. How many maximum viewers did you have on your stream? I think the maximum amount of viewers I've had on my stream at once, concurrent viewers, it's probably like 30 something, like 33, 35. And that was when I was talking about when the Indiana Fever, they hired Stephanie White, or they fired their coach. They fired their previous coach, Chrissy Sides, and I went live. And I was actually working too. I was working. I stepped away from work for like 30 minutes to go live in the middle of the day. And like 30 to 35 people tuned in at the same time. That was the most. That's good. Yeah, 100%. 100%. Yeah, that was a crazy day. But Caitlin Clark, she just has crazy motion. Her fan base is stupid. So yeah, I applied for the Kai Cenat Streaming University and stuff like that. And we'll see what happens if they let me in. Like I said, I do some different stuff on streaming. So, and then I think me being older, like, that just brings something different to the table as well. Sasat, he subscribed. Salute, man. I appreciate the subscription, bro, for real. I'm currently on the road to 5,000, less than 300 away from that goal. And I've been saying road to 5K subs for the past 2 years. So it's been a slow grind, but it's been a grind, bro. I've been making it for sure. I've been making it. And slow motion better than no motion. It's been picking up though in these last 60 days, going live every single night. That's like kind of 10x'd it. You know what I'm saying? So, all right, bet. I'm about to get into the next story, man. The next story. So this one is Cameisha Clark. This is something that I did see when it was going on and stuff like that the other day, but I didn't cover it. I don't know why. I think it was just because I just had other topics and things of that sort. How old am I? I'm 30. I turned 30 in January. So yeah, I'm like literally and figuratively. Like I'm an uncle. I have nephews and a niece. Oh, I gotta tell my sister Happy Mother's Day, by the way. I appreciate that. But I'm unc also in like the internet terms of like I'm 30 years old. This is from 11 Alive. This is about Cameisha Clark. She's the Clark Atlanta graduate who was unalived allegedly by a security guard in California, I believe. So yeah, it's just my first time reading anything about this on stream. First time reading the full story, going beyond just the headline, but it's kind of been making its rounds. So I was like, yeah, I think this deserves some attention. And then I also saw somebody saying like, this deserves more media attention. So I was like, okay, let me give it the attention people want it to have. He said, you young twin. Happy belated B-Day, last B-Day. I appreciate that. That's the positivity people need, bro. But it was like, on the internet, everything's so expedited. Like, I was watching Kai tonight, and he reacted to someone who applied that was 43. And he said, 43, she's still chasing her dreams. I'm like, if we're supposed to live to 100, if we're supposed to live to 100 or even 90, right? If we're supposed to live to 90, this lady isn't even halfway to 90. She's supposed to just stop chasing her dreams. Like, just because she's 43, that's stupid. Like, what do you do for the last, okay, was 90 subtracted by 43? Like, what do you do the last 42 years of your life? You just sit around and like, well, I guess I'll just wait till I die now. Like, this doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense. Yeah, like, chase your dreams for as long as you want to, bro. Like, if we're going to be here for 100 years, bro, like, why would I stop chasing my dreams just because I turned 40 or 50 or 60? If I'm 60, I still got 40 years to pursue my dreams. If I'm 70, I still got 30 years to pursue my dreams. If I'm 91 and I die at 92, I still have 365 days to pursue my dreams or do whatever I want whatever I want to accomplish before I'm going off the earth. Like, and that makes sense. What do I do for a living? I'm a journalist. Specifically, I'm a sports journalist. I work at a newspaper, and I've been in journalism I've been getting paid for 11 years now. I've been out of school for, as I was saying earlier, I've been out of school for 8 years. And yeah, so this is like what number job is this for me now? Douglasville, Alabama, Mississippi, Atlanta. So this is my 5th job. It's my 5th job out of school in the past 8 years. And so I'm pretty seasoned in the game, things of that sort. And yeah, that's what I do for a living. So this is what I do for fun on YouTube at night after work. But yeah, he said, good job, man. I appreciate that. W Sasuke. Or how do you, I don't want to say your full name because I feel like it comes out like crazy. But I wanna support you, man. How can people support you, Sauce? Or Sass? If I'm pronouncing, let me know how to pronounce it as well. I'm about to get into this story too. Family released a statement after Clark Atlanta University alumna was unalived in a California tragedy. Dr. Cameisha Denise Clark rose from CAU graduate to become a college dean at Spartan College of Aeronautics and Technology in Inglewood, California. Dang, bro. She was accomplished, bro. I mean, regardless, it's sad, like, right? It's a tragedy, but geez Louise, aeronautics, bro. Anytime I hear something like aeronautics or something, I'm like, man, like, that's so complex. The family of a Clark Atlanta University alumna who was unalived in a tragedy at a California college released a statement on Facebook on Friday. Dr. Cameisha Denise Clark rose from a CAU graduate to become a college dean at Spartan College of Aeronautics and Technology in Inglewood, California. She was unalive. Her life ended on Monday after being allegedly on campus where she worked last Friday. Police called the shooting. Sorry. They called the incident an apparent, quote unquote, act of workplace violence. Another woman who was also injured in the shooting. Another woman was also injured in the incident. There we go. In the statement, the family called Dr. Clark a compassionate, loving, and fiercely loyal person. She brought warmth, laughter, and grace into our lives every day. Her presence was a gift, and the void left behind us is immeasurable. We are deeply grateful for the continued prayers, support, and outpouring of love. The family members continued in their statement. On Tuesday, the Los Angeles County District Attorney's Office formally charged a 40-year-old Jesse Figueroa. Hold on, let me look this up. Figueroa, but they looked up, they hugged up that guy with attempted unaliving, 2 counts related to possession by a felon and more. This dude was a security officer? Am I tripping? Is this someone who's not a security officer? Officials said Fig worked for a company contracted to provide campus security. So a campus security officer, you hired a campus security officer who's a felon? Huh? His assignment is set for May 7th in Inglewood. Dr. Clark earned her bachelor's, master's, and doctorate degrees from Clark Atlanta University, where she recently celebrated for her professional accomplishments. CAU also honored Dr. Clark by creating a scholarship in her name, committing $10,000 to establish a fund. She will also be honored with the baccalaureate service at 10 a.m. on May 17th. Here's the full statement. It is with profound sadness that we shared that Dr. Cameisha Denise Clark passed away on Monday afternoon, surrounded by her loving friends and family. We are beyond devastated. Cameisha's life was taken from us too soon in an act of senseless violence that no woman should ever have to endure. She was an amazing person who didn't deserve this. She was living her best life and doing the work she deserved. Now to go back to Sauce, his questions. He said, what's your favorite part of your job? The favorite part of my job, my day job, is that at the end of the day, it goes back to my passion that I had as a child. It goes back to my like childlike passion and everything like that of like sports. When I was a kid, I was obsessed with sports. I knew like all the stats and stuff. And that was mainly because we had a lot of physical media back then. So I would read books, get sports books at the book fair. When we go to the grocery store, I go to the magazine aisle. I pick up some sports magazines and read them and stuff like that. I play mostly sports video games as a kid, played outside, played multiple sports growing up. So it's like sports was my thing. So to be in the world of covering sports and watching sports and writing about sports and, you know, talking about sports in video format to pay my bills is pretty cool. Every job I think frustrates you at some point, but I think I can always fall back on like, this is way better than, you know what I'm saying, doing a random task for some money to pay my bills to keep the lights on. So I think that's my favorite part of the job. How long have I been streaming in general? That's a good question. I think I just started this year. No, I started last year. I think my first stream was probably like it was during the WNBA finals. So I think that's like what, September, October? That's when I first streamed. So I've been doing it less than a year. But I haven't really done it on a consistent basis until now. So 2 months ago, 60 days ago is when I really started, I guess, taking it seriously and streaming on a consistent basis. 60 days ago. So yeah. But back to this Cameisha thing. This is ridiculous, bro. I really wonder if the family's going to pursue any action against the university, because how do you employ university security from someone who is a felon? Like, as security, you have to have firearms on you and weapons on you, right? So it's like, how did this guy get hired in a position that requires you to hold those things with a record? I think the family has a good case there. I mean, I'm no lawyer, but I mean, just off top, seeing that it's crazy. Is this a Jesse guy, or is it just a random guy named Jesse? I think it's just a random guy named Jesse. But yeah, let me see. Security. Do you think I'll be able to find him somewhere? Oh, this is him right here. It's crazy, bro. So, but what happened though? What was it like a thing? He said, Sauce said 2 months and 4.7K subscribers. That's a good result. Keep going, man. I appreciate that, brother. I appreciate that for sure. No, for sure. Like I said, like, it's been a slow grind because I've been doing YouTube. I started doing YouTube seriously in the pandemic. So that was 2020. So it's been 5 years I've been doing YouTube seriously. But 3 years when I was at my last job, I barely had time to like do actual YouTube content that I was doing at the job before that, where I was like posting consistently. The way I'm posting right now, that's how I was posting at my 2 jobs ago. So when I went to my last job, I had no time to do that. And so my growth slowed down for 3 years. But now it's picking back up, man, in the last few months. He said, keep going. I appreciate that. W positivity. But yeah, I want to see like, what was going on campus to have this back and forth with security, and you know what I'm saying? Like, what happened? So this is from Fox 11, Los Angeles. Security guard charged with unaliving and the incident unaliving of Spartan College team. This was the dang, bro. That's crazy. A security guard is facing unaliving charges following a bing in Inglewood. Campus security guard Jesse Fig, 40, is accused of unaliving the college team and injuring another employee. So he hit 2 employees. What was he doing? Fig is charged with felony count of unaliving, 1 felony of attempted unaliving, and 1 felony. So what was going on? He was recently hired as a security guard on the campus. He said the victims were both women. and one dean at the college and the other a receptionist or an assistant. According to Butts, the 35-year-old dean was taken to the hospital in critical condition, possibly brain unalive, while the 37-year-old victim was injured but stable. The dean has since passed away. According to prosecutors, the name of the victims have not been released. What they're saying, Spartan College Inglewood campus president Chris Becker issued a statement on Saturday saying, "We are deeply saddened." Like, what happened? How does this happen? How does that happen? How does that happen? What was the security guard doing? What was there somebody who came on campus and posed a threat for the security guard to justify him doing that? Because that doesn't. No. Nah, he's done for, bro. And the Chargers is letting me know, like, oh, I don't rock with that, bro. Spartan College, Inglewood campus resident. We are deeply saddened and upset by what transpired. Our thoughts are with the two staff members who are in medical care and their families during the time. Counseling services and support are being arranged for students and staff in the coming days. Police swarmed the campus following the unaliving. Butts said a 9mm shell casing was found at the scene and noted that the DNA or fingerprint evidence may be present on it. Fig was contacted and detained by the Los Angeles Police Department officers. Authorities said the firearm was found in his vehicle. We still don't know how that happened, though. I'm gonna go back to Sauce real quick. He said, "Do you have TikTok?" I do not have TikTok. I do not have TikTok. At first, it started as an act of rebellion not to get TikTok during the pandemic because I was like, "Oh, I ain't gonna do that." And then when TikTok became like the method for content creators to kind of like grow quicker because shorter form content just grows quicker and stuff like that, I didn't do it because they were talking about TikTok was going to go away, so I didn't do it, and it didn't go away. He said, "I'll follow your IG right now." I appreciate that. I haven't been on Instagram in like a year, so probably a few of these things might be my own induced thing, but like I don't promote my channel, I don't post it, I don't share it with my friends or family. Like I just started posting a couple videos from my channel like in the past year, but people already found out about my YouTube by then, of people that I knew, because I wanted the support to be genuine and real, and I felt like strangers who have an interest in the stuff that I'm talking about would support me more than like my friends who are just watching because they're my friends. But yeah. I still don't know how this happened, bro. Like, what is the story? What happened? Like, so he did it intentionally? What was he doing this intentionally, or like, I don't get it. Let me see if I can find another story on this, because this doesn't make any sense. Spartan College. Inglewood. What is the thing going on, man? What is going on here? Like he just spazzed. Security guard charged. All right, this from the LA Times. College dean described as radiant, joyful. Security guard charged. Nathan Solis wrote this. The security guard usually arrives at Spartan College of Aeronautics and Technology to the sound of planes roaring overhead. He began his shift later in the day at campus near the Los Angeles International Airport, according to students, and wore a blue collared shirt as a part of his uniform. But on Friday, the guard, later identified as 40-year-old Jesse Fig, was also allegedly armed with a handgun that he used to two women, one of them fatally. Hold on. So he just did this, or in an administrative building, inside of administrative building. So what happened? Was there an argument? He just did it. Fig fled the scene into his car and was taken into custody later. She was 35 years old, bro. She was a dean at 35. She had a doctorate, everything like that. But Clark arrived in California several years ago to further her career. Jeez Louise, man. Cameisha was passionate, fiery, an alumni Spotlight post on social media. Dang, they just shouted her out, bro. That's crazy. March 5th. She's recently appointed. Yeah, people saying rest in peace now. Where she finds joy at a HBCU. She was recently appointed as the Dean of Student Affairs at Spartan College of Aeronautics and Technology, where she finds joy in supporting student success. Her dissertation explored gender differences in the use and effectiveness of adaptive learning in gateway math courses at an HBCU, where she had the privilege of Dr. Daniel T. serving as her dissertation chair, reinforcing the passion for innovation and education. All right. Okay. Authorities confirmed Fig worked as security guard for a third-party company at Inkwood campus, but have not released a possible motive. So this is just a Inglewood Mayor James Butt called the episode an act of workplace violence and not a random shooting incident. Excuse me. Spartan College campus is cooperating. There's little indication from the what? It's really tragic. A student who identified himself only as Hector from a sidewalk outside of the administrative building. Since the incident, security has increased. Why would you increase? Isn't security the reason why this happened? You know, I don't know. I don't know, man. This is dumb, bro. He was convicted of robbery in 2007. So you guys hired security, a job where you need weapons, from a convicted felon. Do you have your personal website? Yeah, my personal website is just my name, rashadmilligan.com. But nothing's on it. It's really like a portfolio for real, just showcasing a lot of my older work. That's all that's on it. I think I might need to do some more with it later on, but right now that's just what it is. Let me see, bro. Where was I going with this? Oh, I wanted to see Cameisha. If there was anything of Cameisha on the YouTube. Cameisha Clark. Let me see. Give me a second here. But it's like, bro, what? Like, that's crazy. That's insane, dude. Family remembers her. She just got promoted. It was a setup. This is 31 seconds. I'm trying to figure this out. Like, what is this, bro? I guess psycho security guard. Hey, that's me. All right. Okay. I guess that's just it. We'll find out more as we go. That's weird. That is weird. 100%. Next thing, Larussell. Larussell was saying the same thing that like Ye said, but Ye said it in a much worse way. He said, I went on a radio freestyle platform last year and was told my episode couldn't drop because what I rapped about it. Life, politics, Palestine, and real stuff in real life. The next day and every day since has been dudes on there talking about killing other dudes, selling dope, and the hosts just nod their heads along to it and smile. I'm not saying these folks don't care about us, but shrugging my shoulders. Somebody cared enough to tell me about what I rapped about. Didn't sit well with them, but people being unalive didn't bother them at all. Let me see if he's on LA Leakers. Let's choose violence here. Why not? You know, Larussell, LA Leakers. Oh, he's on the LA Leakers on Sway. Okay, is it what's the thing called? Is it I-85 when they be rapping? Nah, he's on I-85. Okay. Those are all the big ones I know. These are all the big ones I know. Where else would he be freestyling? Let me see. Freestyle. But yeah, this is what Ye was saying, bro. Ye was saying the exact same thing when he came out with the offensive stuff. It was definitely the wrong way to go about it. I don't co-sign it. But he was just saying, he was like, why is it offensive that I'm using the hard R right now? When dudes is rapping about this and that, and they've been rapping about it forever, and they've been making money off of it. Sauce said, what are your plans for the summer? I ain't gonna lie to you, Sauce. I don't want to get too much into that on live, publicly, everything like that. But I'll say to keep it vague, going to some events for sure. Going to some events, doing some traveling. And yeah, really just kind of doing some traveling and going to some, getting out all my summer stuff before we have to lock in for the fall. Because once the fall hits, we locked in for football, and that's kind of like the most important season of the year. Football season, college, high school, and the pros, the NFL. So I'll be locked in for work once kind of end of July, August hits. I'll be locked in for work all the way up until January. This year we were locked in all the way up to February because we hosted the Super Bowl. But yeah. All right. But yeah. Like I said, this is exactly what Ye was saying. He just said it in a much less offensive way. But it's like, why is that the case? It's obvious. Answer: propaganda. We don't look at saying something like, yeah, pull up, spray the block, spray his grandma's house, put him on a t-shirt, make him cry to God, make him believe in God. And like, we don't have any problem with that, but we'll have a problem with saying, free Gaza. Like, how is, what I'm saying? Like, that's crazy. Like, stop genocide. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was crazy, bro. Or like when Lupe Fiasco went at the White House event, and he was like, yeah, Obama's a war criminal. He's bombed more foreign countries than everybody. And they're like, oh, hush his mic. Like, that's crazy. But he could say, like, I'll smack a brother if he don't look at me the right way. But a politician who signs off on bombing multiple foreign countries, like a record amount of foreign countries around the world, like, that's okay. Like, that's where you draw the line. I don't know. I feel like if you sign off to bomb and kind of eradicate hundreds of thousands of people, I think that's worse than all the other stuff that I was saying. But yeah, there's that. But you know how it goes. Just another example of it. Someone said, what platform? Let me see if they answer. Right, put a name on it. Someone respond right here. Let's see if they responded. LA Leakers. He was just on LA Leakers. Like I said, he was on LA Leakers. That's all Kanye West has been trying to get folks to understand. Yeah, but his delivery's been terrible. Yikes, did they make an executive decision themselves, or did the higher up say something for stakeholder influence? I think you and I both know that answer, Miss Lottie Day, who is the YouTube, I'm about to say YouTube, the Twitter responder. You ain't gonna name drop the platform. The W has been completed. Bring that freestyle to Sway. They'll definitely appreciate it. All these years later, Larussell has definitely used that freestyle by now. I mean, say, yo, LA Leaguers, let me see. He said, ding, ding, ding. Money on LA Leakers. Oh, is LA Leakers? Oh, snap. Oh, dang, LA Leakers. Just incredible. LA Leakers. LA Leakers. That's was messed up, man. Dang, I can't believe he wow, that's something. All right, cool. No, well, that's not cool. But LA Leakers told Larussell that he can't. That's crazy. All right. Last thing I want to talk about, and then we're out of here. DJ Academic said, you got 24 hours. You got 24 hours, Lauren LaRosa. Why are you talking about I lied? What did I lie about? I said Kendrick was going to have seats. I said Kendrick was going to do that. I said Kendrick was going to do that. What did I lie about? She waited until 3 minutes into 24 hours and said 12:57 a.m. Saturday. What did Act lie about? A thread. Here we go.
I'm waiting on you, and I'm going to give you 24 hours. Chat, remember this right here. 1 a.m. Saturday. What did Akaemiks lie about? Lauren, I'm waiting on you, and I'm going to give you 24 hours. Chat, remember this right here. 1 a.m. Saturday.
And just in case you didn't know, Lauren LaRosa has family ties. I do not know Lauren LaRosa. I don't even know if I met her. If I have, I don't remember meeting her. But she does have family ties. So that's family by association. So you know why I'm rocking with this on this side.
Fans is broke. His fans is a bunch of niggas that don't have a lineup. They got no haircut.
Lauren said, you lied about this ticket sales. You lied about the money. You lied about his fans that are
nappy-headed or just straight-up white boys who are degenerates who used to say the N-word. No lineup, no job, no deodorant. One of these niggas with hot breath think that when they're just going to rap a bunch of these niggas still thinking about control. Like, of course these niggas can't. These niggas, they're not taking care of their kids. Why the fuck you think they're gonna pay?
Who else still thinking about control? I'll let you know. Aubrey Drizzy Drake Graham is still thinking about control in 2025. That's the whole reason of this back and forth. He said, still thinking about control. Ironic.
Be able to pay $400 to go to a concert. Fuck no. So as I said, if Kendrick Lamar was giving away these tickets for if y'all niggas on food stamps, if y'all niggas are unemployed, if you get a 20% discount, if you ain't get a haircut since 2020, 2012, this shit will be packed. It would be sold out in a minute.
So he said it won't be packed because they don't have the money. All right, hold on. Oh yeah. He said people not singing it, and they only singing that like us. So then people singing the song. That was Luther.
Oh yeah, we live and direct. Oh yeah, we live and direct in this motherfucker tonight. I feel it in the air. I feel the energy. Hold up. Feel good one tonight. I see a lot of old faces in the building. I see a lot of new faces too. That's all right. Oh yeah, we live.
Crazy crowd, man.
That's why I said Kendrick ruined hip hop, because ever since he came with that little battle energy, that's cool. Drake and Pusha T got into it. Niggas said Pusha T won. You know what happened? Niggas moved on, and we just kept getting hits. This nigga been like, we've been frozen in May 2024 for a fucking year. Nobody wants to drop music because you're watching the guys at the top just only focus on this beef that's a year old. I really think he ruined hip hop because of that. That's why I said YB, he's dropping new music. Carti, who dropped one of the albums of the year, they're making music.
Carti dropped the album.
But
yeah.
But here's the point I'm trying to say. When it comes to this nigga, Kendrick, how did he done Drake? Like, you're acting like you said it was a knockout. I said, listen, the most I give you, if we gonna use a boxing comparison, yo, these niggas are squabbling. I had Drake up on the scorecard. Facts. I had him up on the scorecard. He's giving that nigga, yo, he's outboxing on some Floyd shit. But I ain't gonna cap with you. The reality, I'll say when Not Like Us dropped, that was like a rib shot. Like Drake, he took a stand and ate. Word two.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. So,
that's not no knockout, nigga.
so then what's the argument though? That's
You
my
said
question.
Drake got knocked
What's the
out.
argument
I said, how?
if he got knocked out? He got knocked out. Even in Hard Part 6, he's almost admitting that he got
You really do look like Party Next Door. That's funny.
knocked out. He's
Yeah,
bowing out of the
shit.
fight. He's throwing the white flag.
Yo, he had to take it to the streets. Nigga shooting up his crib. What are you talking about?
Yeah. I don't agree with anybody saying beefing or battling is bad for hip hop. I've seen a lot of people have this take, including Super Duper Kyle, which I thought was very ironic because his most popular song, he's like dissing a proverbial artist. He said it wasn't a Drake diss, but it's like rappers do that all the time where they say, "You lame, you never be as good as me, you'll never do." Kyle, and Keep It Real is like a diss song to rappers, not keeping it real. Like his most popular songs are songs dissing other rappers. Only difference between that and what happened with Drake and Kendrick is that they put names on it. So it's like I never understood the entire like thing of, oh, this is bad for hip hop. Like, let's just love each other and this and that. When your verses are like, I got more money than you, I get more women than you, we're not in the same tax bracket, my thing is bigger than you know what I'm saying? Like that's the whole kind of thing of hip hop, your rap verses. So it's just like, okay, you're just rapping about this random person that you're beefing with in real life or you don't like in real life. You're competing with that person and you put a name on it. Like that's the only difference. I don't think it's he said I have to go, bro. Keep going. I appreciate it so much, Sauce. He said, see you on the next stream. My guy, I appreciate you, brother. But yeah, that's my thing with it. It's not bad for hip hop, in my opinion. I don't think it's bad. Like it's hip hop is a sport. It's competitive, and that's all it was, you know, competitive sparring. And another thing that I want to say about it is, on top of that, the good stuff is gonna shine. Like I always go back to what Josh Powell said a few years ago when he said the cream rises to the top. Like the stuff that's good is always going to get a spotlight. Stuff that's good is always going to rise to the top. So it's like Carti had his moment when he released music. Some other good projects out right now. A lot of good music. I really like Neonte's album, which came out, I think, last week. Mike has released 3 albums already this year with Showbiz, JBL Music, and Pinball 2. And I believe he's still gonna keep dropping albums. Who else was dropping? Who else is dropped that was really good this year? Oh, Saba. Saba drops his album, which was sensational. I think up for album of the year. Suave dropped Billy 2, which you guys know I've been extremely high on. If you don't know, now you know. DDG's album dropped, which had a couple good tracks on it. Since the Beef, Chromacopia dropped. Very quality album. GNX dropped. Very quality. Like these are stuff that's not, you know what I'm saying? The things. It's just a lot of cool stuff going on in hip hop. Spook has dropped a couple albums in Atlanta. You know, you got Lil Tony came back home. Glock 40 Spaz came back home. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just a lot of cool stuff happening right now in music, specifically hip hop. Jalen Josie, excuse me. She had the song of the summer, in my opinion, with the new girl. It's just a lot of cool stuff going on right now in music. Anisi is literally doing a Gangster Girls right now. Caribou's kind of like forcing music out through snippets. She just dropped the joint with Zucchini, and she did that through the Montreality DVD music video. And Tony Snow did the same thing with his song on Montreality DVD. Bruce Drop Him Off is doing his thing with the Ball Hog kind of music label joint. Playboi Max is doing his thing with 5 Star. You know, it's just so much cool stuff going on right now in rap music and hip hop. And R&B, and Coco Jones dropped her. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's so much cool stuff going on in rap and R&B right now. To be like, man, the beef has ruined music. Like, what? The music is still there. The good music's still there. Just gotta look for it. Like, you mad it's not being pushed to the forefront because Kendrick is having a moment. Because at the peak of everybody talking about him, he dropped GNX, and GNX was like a whole bunch of not like us's. Sorry, he made bops. Make some bops. Drake made, Give Me a Hug and Nokia. Those did what they did. And the Spider-Man, Superman, those did what they did. They had shelf life. And then Kendrick went on stadium tour. And the conversation shifted back to Kendrick after that. Just is what it is, bro. If you want the attention, do stuff to get attention. Do a stadium tour. If that's the attention.
Because I think, honestly, Kendrick didn't need no co-headliner. If it's what we talking about and it's really like that, because I think it is like that. I do think it's like that. I don't think he need a co-headliner. I think he could have went out here and did by his damn self. Because I think, honestly, Kendrick didn't need no co-headliner. If it's what we talking about and it's really like that, because I think it is like that.
Excuse me.
I just realized that this girl is the one who used to be on the Breakfast Club. Hey, iHeart.
He was saying he liked her. Calling out her name might have been necessary. He's a N-word, F any N-word, man, animal, child, person, alien who speak down on me. Stop playing with me. That B word shouldn't mention a effing goat like me. She a effing library attendant. All she do is read a sheet. Big act ain't in your caliber. All she do is read a sheet. Yo, it's crazy. That's crazy. So then Stat Baby came in, right? Treasure Wilson, aka Stat Baby, my dog. Once again, this is a homie, friend of the channel. Not a homie where it's like I could call folks, text folks anytime. Not a homie, but a friend of the channel. Why is this man so angry? Laughing emojis. At Lauren LaRosa said you lied about your numbers, and it translates to all of this. LMAO, I think you need a vacay. So here it goes. Hold on. I'm begging you to not give him father to disrespect or violate you. I won't be able to take it. Please let this man be, because if you get on one, he will crash out, and you're too sweet to have to go through that. Your big bros will have to have your back, but is it worth it? Nah. Man, don't live in no fear of no man saying no mean things about you on a live stream because he drunk and can't put the bottle down. And I ain't gonna lie to you guys. I'll keep it a beam with you. A lot of people won't say this just because of affiliations and stuff like that. They don't want to be canceled and stuff, but I'm gonna keep it a beam. Akaemiks is someone I really have looked up to, especially in the mid 2010s when he started to kind of rise. Ever since like Everyday Struggle, like I was like, yo, I really appreciate this dude because he worked up the Akaemiks brand to what it was, and then it got to the point where Complex was like, we want to bring him on. And when they brought him on, I was like, yo, this is dope to see that type of support and everything like that. To see some, because it's someone who built his own. That's something that I always wanted to do. I've been an employee, of course, my entire career, but I've always had this YouTube channel. I've always had my own brand. I've always had this logo. Shout out to my boy Jordan who built this logo, designed this logo. I believe it was 2017 he designed the logo. I spoke to him last year and he was like, I think it's time for an updated one. I like my logo. Side note, that's a whole side piece. But the reason why I've always kept my media is because I've always wanted my media company. I've always wanted my own platform and stuff like that. Because just entrepreneurship, the spirit of that, my family's always kind of like pushed me towards that and taught me that direction. And yeah, so I've always admired him for the way that he grinded and built something from the ground up by himself. That said, he did build it largely on the Chirac series, you know, kind of like turning real life tragedy and sadness into an anime of sorts on YouTube, which was crazy. And yeah, he did do that. And he does say like just a lot of things that I do not agree with. I don't agree with the way that he speaks to women, and I don't know. That's a part of the entertainment thing that has built his following, because it's like, oh, you're not supposed to say that, but he's saying it, which makes me want to tune in, because it's like the things he's saying the forbidden, things that we're not supposed to say. I understand that, but I can't respect it. And yeah, so I wanted to put out that disclaimer that I did look up to him in terms of like building a media company off the ground and getting to the point where people want to partner with your media company and your brand because you built it to that point. At the same time, coming for a Stat Baby, coming for a Lauren Larussell is both whack. And nobody should be scared of some man going on a live stream with a bottle of Hennessy in his hand, calling you out of your name. Like, at the end of the day, you just on the other side of the screen. Ain't nothing about to happen in real life. So what's the point of you talking? And talking tough to some woman like this, like, that's crazy. And I know people keep saying that. They're like, oh, he speak on men too. We seen him back down from men too, right? So it's just like, what's the point, bro? This whole thing, oh, I'll expose you, everything like that. You tried to expose Caribou. You didn't know anything about Caribou. You got half of the facts wrong when you tried to quote unquote expose her, because you Yachty friend, or Yachty calls you and he talks to you on and off stream, and to give you his side of the warped story that wasn't the true story. Kara said that she met you and you guys had a talk, and she said she understands a little more. Y'all felt like y'all came to a little more understanding after meeting and talking to each other. But that's just the case, bro. It's like, I'm not worried about you going on a drunk rant on live stream. And I know you're not going to respond to me because I literally have one viewer in the chat right now. And, I'm saying I have less than 5,000 subscribers on YouTube at the moment that I'm broadcasting this. But it's like, the principle is the principle, bro. It's whack what you did. It's whack the way that you're coming at these young women. Respectable journalists, bro. And it's all started from them calling you out on your hypocrisy. And Lauren Larussell came with a whole thread of receipts that showed that you were being a hypocrite, which is all she said at the beginning. You're being a hypocrite. You're wrong. Just own up to it. That's it, man. This was nearly a 2-hour stream. It's 5 a.m. Eastern at the time I'm recording this, so I know people on the East Coast are waking up now, getting ready for church if they got early morning service, or they're part of the service, anything like that, or they have a little drive to make. So I hope everybody has a great Mother's Day. Have a great Sunday. Enjoy the basketball that's on TV, all of the things of that sort. And I will see you guys tomorrow. If nobody else told you today, I care for you. Peace.
That's for losers, man. I don't get involved in that stuff, but
Angel Rashad Milligan rolling out.
That's a good question.
We can't ask Rashad questions.
Hey, Rashad.